All right, let's talk about building a smarter AI. I mean, an AI that's not just powerful, but one you can actually trust to get things done right. Today, we're digging into the blueprint for exactly that. So, you ever ask an AI a question and get an answer that's, well, just bizarre, or totally out of date, or maybe just plain wrong? Yeah, you're not alone. We've all been there. It's called hallucination, and it's this huge problem where the AI just makes stuff up. And honestly, it's one of the biggest things holding AI back.
It's a really common issue. But here's the thing. Today, we're going to explore a blueprint designed to fix it. What if we could build an AI that doesn't have to guess? One that we could give real tools to, a way to look up facts, and even a way to think for itself. That's exactly what we're diving into, a solid, production-ready blueprint that makes it happen.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about what I call the AI's reality bubble. That's the core of the problem. Then, we'll look at the tools to fix it, a fact-checking tool called RAG and an action-taking brain called React. After that, we'll see how to put it all together into a three-part blueprint. And finally, we'll see it work in a real-world example. Sound good? Let's go! All right, Section 1, the AI's reality bubble. So what is this thing? Well, it gets right to the core problem with even the most powerful AIs out there today. So you know generative AI, right? It's amazing at what it does, creating all sorts of new content, from text to images to code. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. It's totally limited to its training data. That means its knowledge is basically frozen in time. So if you ask it about something that happened yesterday or about some specific data inside your company, it's completely trapped in this bubble. It has no choice but to guess, and that's where you get those weird, made-up answers.
Okay, so how do we pop that reality bubble? Well, the first step is to give the AI a way to access the outside world. Think of it like giving your AI a library card. But not just any library card. This one's for a library that's constantly being updated, like every single second.
This amazing tool is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or just RAG for short. It's basically a framework that hooks the AI up to external knowledge sources. We're talking about anything from a company's private databases to the live, breathing internet. So now, instead of just guessing, the AI can actually look stuff up before it even tries to answer you. It's a total game changer.
And how it works is actually pretty straightforward, but incredibly powerful. So when you ask a question, the system first goes out and retrieves all the relevant info from its connected databases. It finds the right documents. Then it takes that fresh, factual info and stuffs it right into the prompt it gives the AI. This is what we call grounding the AI. It's giving it the exact, real-world context it needs to give you a smart, accurate answer. And the benefits here? They're massive. First off, the AI gets to use fresh, up-to-the-minute information, which means way fewer of those crazy hallucinations. It can also become a genuine expert on your company's own private data. And maybe the best part? It's so much cheaper and faster than trying to retrain one of these giant models every time you want to update its knowledge. It's just a smarter way to work.
Okay, so RAG gives our AI a library card to find facts. That's huge. But what about more complex problems? I mean, what if a question requires more than just looking up one thing? What if the AI needs to, well, reason, to make a plan and take a bunch of steps? For that, it needs more than just a library card. It needs a brain, an action-taking brain.
And that's where this other framework, called React, comes into play. React literally stands for reasoning and action. And it does exactly what it sounds like. It turns the AI from a simple Q&A machine into a real agent that can think through a problem, create a step-by-step plan, and then actually use tools to get it done.
It all works in this really cool, continuous loop. First, there's a thought. The AI looks at the problem and says, okay, here's my plan. Then it takes an action. It actually uses a tool. Maybe it calls an API or queries a database. And finally, there's an observation. It looks at what happened and says, okay, what did I learn from that? This whole thought, action, observation cycle just keeps going until the job is done. It's a lot like how we solve problems, right? The power of React is pretty clear. It makes the AI incredibly versatile. You can hook it up to all kinds of different tools and APIs. It's also way more explainable because you can literally read its chain of thought as it works. You see the plan. And because it's constantly adapting based on what it observes, its accuracy goes way up.
It's combining that reasoning ability with real-world data. Okay, so now we have our two key ingredients. We've got RAG for fact-checking and React for reasoning and taking action. The big question is, how do we put these together into a system that's not just powerful, but also secure and scalable enough for a real business? Well, that's where this smart three-part blueprint comes in.
Part 1 is the application layer. You can think of this as the conductor of the whole orchestra. This is the part you, the user, interact with. It takes your request and then manages the entire process, telling the other parts when to go find facts, when to think, and how to put it all together.
Then we have part 2, the retrieval service. Now this is really important. This part is designed to run separately from everything else. It acts like a secure gateway that handles every single interaction with your data. And separating it out like this is absolutely crucial. It's what gives the system its security, its ability to scale, and its high performance. And the third part is the database layer. This is the bedrock, the foundation of knowledge for the whole system. It's where all that important, proprietary, up-to-the-minute data is stored. And the design here is super flexible. It's made to be interchangeable, so a business can plug it into whatever kind of database they're already using. No need to start from scratch.
So let's put it all together. You've got the application layer acting as the conductor for central control. You have the separate retrieval service giving you that rock-solid security and scalability. And you have the database layer providing the factual grounding. When you combine these three, you get an AI system that's not just smart, it's robust, secure, and genuinely ready for the real world.
Okay, that's the theory. It all sounds great, right? But let's see how this blueprint actually performs in the wild. We're going to look at a customer service demo built for a fake airline called Cymbal Air to see how it handles some real-world questions.
So a customer asks a pretty simple question. What flights are headed to NYC tomorrow? Now, a normal AI would probably stumble here. It might make something up or just say, I don't know, because its training data is old. But this system, it uses RAG to go look at a live flight database and comes back with a perfect, up-to-the-minute answer. Just like that.
Or how about something a little trickier? Where can I get coffee near gate A6? Again, this is where the system really shines. It uses its React framework and its tools to search a database of airport vendors and finds the nearest coffee spot. It's not just spouting facts. It's understanding context and using tools to solve a specific problem.
So why should you care about all this? What does it all mean? It means we can finally build AI that gives you answers you can trust, answers that are accurate and current because they're based on real facts. It means we can do this securely without exposing a company's private data. And it means we can build these incredibly specialized AI experts for literally any business, whether it's aviation, finance, or medicine. And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. This whole blueprint, it represents a massive shift in how we think about AI. We're moving away from seeing AI as just a knowledge base, like a fancy encyclopedia. Now we're talking about AI as an intelligent agent, one that can think, act, and actually solve problems for you in the real world.
So that leaves us with one last really exciting question to think about. Now that we have this blueprint, now that we can build an AI that can reason, that can take action, and that always checks its facts, what's next? What are the really big, complex problems that we can finally start to solve?